From the Universal Tarot, 19. The Sun. A jubilant naked child sits astride his white horse, his arms thrown out as if to embrace the world. The benevolent sun shines upon him with radiant power, symbolized by the vibrating sun rays. A red banner floats upon the breeze and drapes over the horse's neck. In other versions of the Sun card, this banner is carried by the child upon a long flagpole. Here, the banner flies free, symbolizing the life force that is present everywhere in creation. The child is outside a walled garden, again symbolizing freedom and breaking free of limits and constrictions. The garden is filled with sunflowers, which turn their faces to follow the glorious sun child. Considered the most positive card in the deck, every symbol in the Sun card speaks of goodness, growth, delight, and liberation. Universal message. Let the beneficent warmth of the sun bathe your being with joy. The universe is working in your favor. All will be well. From the Initiatory Tarot of the Golden Dawn. The Sun, the 19th key, the 30th path. The magical title of this card is the Lord of the Fire of the World. The path of the sun runs between Hod and Yesod. It is the splendor of a firm basis, Mercury acting through the sun upon the moon. It is the first path of the astral triangle, the personality that the aspiring student confronts when scaling the tree. The Yetziratic text calls this path the collecting intelligence, because from it astrologers deduce the judgment of the stars and the celestial signs, the zodiac. The zodiac exerts major influence and control over the formation of the character and personality of every human being. Thus, on this path, the initiate begins to perceive the higher factors which have formed his or her own personality. The sun path leads directly from Yesod, the astral foundation behind all materialized forms, to Hod, the very seat of the intellect. The 30th path is the conductor of the thought process or intellectual energy. Resh, the Hebrew letter given to this card, means head, which further reveals its function as the collecting intelligence, assembling information and experiences which the personality can use in its quest for something higher. On this path, the initiate attempts to reconcile his God-given mind with his animal body. The sun is the center of our world and the giver of light to the planet. Yet too much sun is harmful and can scorch the earth. The double-letter meaning of Resh is fertility, barrenness, an important lesson in balance when meditating on the Sun card. Two naked children, the Din and Doni of Gemini, are shown playing in a garden surrounded by a wall. The boy, standing upon earth, represents Taurus, while the girl, dancing in the water, refers to Cancer. They also symbolize the purest enunciation of the male and female polarities in manifestation. Interpretation in a tarot reading. Glory, gain, riches, sometimes also arrogance, display, vanity, but only with very evil cards. From the Science Tarot, Duality of Light, 19. The Sun. The sun's nuclear fire radiates energy into space in every direction. Its generosity and abundance makes life on Earth possible, and its light ignites our senses and our minds. Light has a dual nature, only recently discovered in experiments which revealed a pattern similar to the one on this card's border. Light can behave as both a particle and a wave. This astounding duality opens a mysterious door into the most complex lessons of physics and life itself. The sun unites opposing ideas into a single wonderful reality. By accepting these seemingly contradictory behaviors, we gain a higher understanding of the nature of the universe and the radiant mysteries which our lives orbit. Rejoice at the sources of life, light in your own life. From the Tarot of Shadows, Arcana 19, Grace. This arcana embraces the interaction between the moon, the sun, and the earth. Its image points to the solar eclipse that occurs when the moon appears between an observer on earth and the sun. There are three types of solar eclipse: partial, annular, and total. During the partial eclipse, the lunar disk covers the sun disk partially. During the annular eclipse, due to its greater distance from the earth, the lunar disk cannot close the sun completely, and we observe a solar ring around the moon. A total eclipse occurs when the moon covers the sun disk entirely. This phenomenon only takes place when the moon is at its greatest proximity to the earth. The total eclipse, and only that, is accomplished by strong visual effects. The sky darkens, the light faints, coldness arrives, and instead of the sun, we only see a dark disk in the sky. How does the solar eclipse connect to the realm of magic? Let us consider this issue astrologically. A solar eclipse always occurs during the new moon. The new moon, or dark moon, when the moon is not visible in the sky, is a mysterious time. The black hole that appears in its place is viewed as an entrance to another world, where impending events are being generated. At this stage there are no constraints, no predefined plans. That is the moment when an individual has a choice whether to shift focus to something new and let go of his or her old self, or to continue with the same habits and convictions as in the previous lunar cycles. But if a person remains the same internally, it will be very difficult to change the external circumstances of his or her life. The sun and the moon are seen as counterparts. The former guides our consciousness. The latter directs our subconscious and emotions. During the eclipse, where the moon disk closes partially or entirely the sun, the subconscious mind automatically connects to consciousness, forming a bridge between the two without any special effort. That is why many psychological problems aggravate during the solar eclipse. In antiquity, this period had been rendered dangerous, and people were advised to refrain from important activities. However, in modern times, this is not quite so. We can make choices that allow us to understand our inner world and invite the necessary internal changes which, in turn, bring on changes in our external environment. The solar eclipse correlates to accidents, catastrophes, suicides, and the death of famous people, since they are clearly under the sun's influence. The eclipse imposes a direct threat to their life. For example, Julius Caesar was killed that particular day. It may so happen that the vital mission is accomplished, so they pass away with the old moon. But for some other people there is another reason. When individuals are not ready to change and give up their old bindings, the solar eclipse energy forces them to leave this world, as this would bring the inevitable change. Card meaning: escaping stagnation, illumination, effectiveness, spiritual victory, opportunities, elimination of negative behavior. An additional card can help identify any possible patterns that interfere with personal and professional progress. Freedom from old habits. From the Osho Zen Tarot. 19. Innocence. The old man in this card radiates a childlike delight in the world. There is a sense of grace surrounding him, as if he is at home with himself and with what life has brought. He seems to be having a playful communication with the praying mantis on his finger, as if the two of them are the greatest friends. The pink flowers cascading around him represent a time of letting go, relaxation, and sweetness. They are a response to his presence, a reflection of his own qualities. The innocence that comes from a deep experience of life is childlike, but not childish. The innocence of children is beautiful, but ignorant. It will be replaced by mistrust and doubt as the child grows and learns that the world can be a dangerous and threatening place. But the innocence of a life lived fully has a quality of wisdom and acceptance of the ever-changing wonder of life. Zen says that if you drop knowledge, and within knowledge everything is included, your name, your identity, everything, because this has been given to you by others. If you drop all that has been given by others, you will have a totally different quality to your being. Innocence. This will be a crucifixion of the persona, the personality, and there will be a resurrection of your innocence. You will become a child again, reborn.